The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We are not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure of Ravachol. Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. It undermines trust in the RCM. We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station cold sleep. It prevents confusion and overcrowding. You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up. As you may have gathered from the fact that we are expected to carry a record of our kills, like the one in your watermarks, we are permitted to use whatever force is necessary, and strongly admonished not to abuse that power.
Ach, hast du überhaupt schon... Ich schätze mal, das wirst du nicht. Ich habe nämlich erst rausgefunden, was mit seinem Revolver passiert ist.
You have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In these cases, your partner is usually your witness. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly, by cross-examining you for inconsistencies. It is hard to cover for anyone, which is for the best.
Ist aber nicht, ob ich dir das spoilern darf.
We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Courant and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them. The coalition government, and the moral intern more broadly. The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less. Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Ravachol or the coalition government founded the RCM. It's probably more honest, yes. Either way, the moral intern leases us the right to keep the peace in this city, and they will take it away if we misuse it. The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the revolution failed. They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations in the world. What do they believe in? They are Dolorians. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they are just technocrats. Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that.
Something kind and usual. Something almost self-explanatory. Something ominous.
A historic figure? The author of the modern age? You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me. The moral intern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they
Willst du es
change.
wissen oder willst du es selber
And
rausfinden?
it doesn't look like that's about to happen.
It is more than that. There's some kind of affection in him.
Yes, I did, when I was younger. In my 20s, I considered myself a moralist. A blue forget-me-not, a piece of the sky. They're not all that bad.
Wo wir erst im Pfandleihhaus waren. Dort da hatte der irgendwas von Pistolen und so erzählt. Ich weiß gar nicht, ob wir direkt danach gefragt haben. Bin ich mir jetzt gar nicht mehr so sicher. Jedenfalls hat er dann erzählt, dass wir persönlich die Waffe dorthin gebracht hätten ins Pfandleihhaus. Und dass kurze Zeit später wäre eine Frau gekommen und hat die Waffe mitgenommen. Weil dem ist nicht wohl dabei, wenn da Waffen zu lange lagern. Und jetzt werden wir sehen müssen, dass wir die Frau irgendwie finden, obwohl wir noch nicht mal eine Beschreibung oder so gekriegt haben.
But the years have changed that. I don't know what I believe in now. No, I believe in the RCM. That's enough for me.
Er sagte so, dass wir dort aufgekreuzt werden, halt unter Drogen wurde dann wahrscheinlich auch. Und irgendwas gesagt hätten, wir hätten sie nicht verdient und wir hätten nicht verdient, Polizist zu sein oder irgendwie so. Bloß ich schätze mal, es wird auch viel Selbstschutz gewesen sein.
Do you? We are in what is called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes. Sadly, it is what we already are to the people of Martinez, most of them at least, especially the Union. Vigilantes. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging. Well, you were so hungover that you couldn't keep it down when we approached the hanged man, so we didn't even inspect the body. And there's still much to do at the crime scene too. We didn't search it thoroughly enough.
He would have put all of this more harshly, but he doesn't want you to feel completely discouraged. Probably because he's afraid that you'll just give up and keep drinking.
We are both doing our best under the circumstances. Just don't drink tonight, please. As for the interviews,
Also, es ist 23:30 Uhr, ich werde garantiert jetzt nicht anfangen, mich zuzulöten.
we weren't able to find the union leader, Everard Clare, much less interview him. So that's on the to-do list for tomorrow. We didn't talk to the Wild Pines rep. We really must do that tomorrow. Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice?
Ich habe doch erst in der zweiten Hälfte des Spiels angefangen zu rennen, als ich rausgefunden habe, wie das geht. Beschwer dich mal nicht so.
It's impressive, to say the least. For a man your age, especially. Those are some stylish shoes too, by the way. Those loafers. Must be hard to run in those like you do.
Ja, besser als die scheiß grünen Treter, Junge.
The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. This soldier is the highlight of the day for me, he thinks. This little stick right here.
They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid, Kuno. It's different in land, in Jamrock and the GRIH.
Dann werde ich morgen wieder weniger rennen. Hast du ein bisschen mehr zur Stimmung, wenn man hier so gemächlich eher...
It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. This place has fallen between the cracks, the jurisdictions of our two precincts. We run this city. West of the river is RCM land. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are... But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works, our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate.
Night. Captain Bartholomew Price steps into the yard. A piebald horse waits by the motor carriage, chewing oats out of an oat bag. Seagulls fly overhead. The sky is black. Captain Price wears a black suit and a standard patrol coat as he mounts the horse to head home. Rows of houses on either side, hunching over the sidewalks, and Precinct 41 with its dome roof growing distant. Around him, the streets are silent. A kid on the corner waves at the captain as he takes the turn on Petition and Main. The horse neighs. The captain nods back. Thanks, kid, he thinks. He's grateful.
Me too. But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetimes. Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
Wieso kann ich ihn hier... Hallo? Tür? Ich kann auch mit ihm nicht mehr reden. Was ist denn jetzt los? Ach, hier. Ja, Sitzbude pennen.
The bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. The sheets look awful. The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes. And then sleep doesn't come.